I'm not just gonna stand here and wait. I wanna just decide what is to be my fate. Alone all by myself, I'm not just gonna stay here and wait.
Good morning, everyone. Well, it's a hot day here in northern central Pennsylvania as the world is marching on around us. We've got stories about Long Island Audit, Turtle Boy, and Floyd Wallace today, along with a very special update on Craig Hendry. He's mixed in there somewhere, so stay tuned because you'll be surprised where he pops up. Well, maybe. We've got more news about the new law in Louisiana aimed at auditors that will make their lives miserable in the next couple of months and make interactions with police all the more fun. I know the sister of the Fellowship of Pantses Traveling Whatever have cracked down again, so hopefully you'll notice the drastic improvements we've been making to the broadcast this week based on your feedback. I know I can't please everyone, and I realize our numbers aren't the greatest right now, but we are building. But we're going to give this a go, and even if we fail, we're going to fail on a professional level with shows that are up to the quality or better than others in the field. In the next couple of days, I expect to have the rest of the stories from earlier in the week reprocessed and everything uploaded to the YouTube channel in bite-sized chunks. So stay tuned, folks. There's repackaged content coming for everybody soon enough. With that, on to the new news. Long Island Audit takes Wednesday crown. In a mind-altering last-minute win, Sean Paul Long Island Audit Riaz took Wednesday's overall fundraising crown from Jose Chile de Castro with a donation that put him past de Castro's totals for the day. De Castro had been leading for the day with a single $25 donation to his legal aid fund, Donation Fund Help People Fund. Riaz had a single donation to his Support the Fight Against Tyranny and Corruption Fund of $20 that put him in second place, but was still behind de Castro's tally for the day. In the darkest hour, a $10 donation came into Riaz's Unlawful Arrest and Constitutional Rights Fund, sealing the overall victory for Riaz with a $30 total tally for the day, edging out de Castro's $25 tally by $5. Fans were in disbelief at Riaz's last-minute win, as were the fictional sisters of the Fellowship of the Traveling Pants, who placed bets that de Castro would win the day. While prevented from donating directly to the funding of the auditors, a significant amount of money has been exchanged in the background betting on their favorite auditors. In updates to yesterday's concerns, Craig Hendry resurfaced in response to a comment on his YouTube community page. While no explanation was given for his disappearance or his Phantom Court appearance, he did tell a supporter that it was okay to gloat about the Boston Celtics defeating the Indiana Pacers to advance to the NBA Finals, as Hendry was not in jail. Hendry has yet to otherwise update his situation. We'll continue to follow and update the story as news emerges. As always, we do have a GoFundMe of our own, located in the scroll below. All proceeds go to keeping the lights on, eating and writing news stories to feature here and on ReallyCoolSite.org. Louisiana cracks down on auditors. The Associated Press is reporting that Louisiana has joined Florida in enacting a law that would prevent members of the public from approaching within 25 feet of police officers who are engaged in the execution of their duties. The new law will go into effect on August 1st and was signed into law by Governor Jeffrey Landry on Tuesday. It would carry fines of up to $500, 60 days of jail time, or both for those who would approach police officers after being ordered to stop approaching or retreat. Filming is not prevented by the law, though critics have made it clear that filming would be much more difficult for police watchers, as the ability to pick up audio would be extremely limited from the 25-foot buffer zone around the officers. Proponents of the law argue that the buffer zone is needed in order to protect both the officers and those that they're interacting with. The 25-foot zone, while not official in most other states, the 25-foot zone, while not official in most other states, came up in Jose Chile de Castro's recent conviction of obstruction and interference in Las Vegas for a 2023 arrest. Officer Brandon Bork testified that he was trained to use an approximate distance of 25 feet as a guideline for safety of bystanders in traffic stops. De Castro's direct approach of Bork and the driver endangered both, as De Castro's erratic behavior and attitude posed a perceived danger. YouTuber Craig Hendry was also recently arrested in Indiana for similar charges. Hendry had purposely antagonized an officer about the ridiculousness of a 25-foot buffer zone and insisted the officer measure how far Hendry was standing away from the officer. Hendry was taken into custody when he was found to be standing 23 feet away from the officer instead of the required 25. Charges are pending in that case, with the next hearing in the case scheduled for June. Challenging the Florida and Louisiana law may become a goal for DeCastro once he is released from his current stint in the Clark County, Nevada Detention Center. The YouTuber had previously promised to challenge any law enforcing limits to filming, with a planned civil rights lawsuit to supplement his efforts. Wallace returns to the United States. Floyd Wallace's latest video on his YouTube channel saw him at a Dominican Republic airport waiting for a flight back to the United States and promising that his foreign-only channel would continue despite his presence in the U.S. Wallace has spent most of the past year in South America, wandering from country to country in an attempt to showcase the local culture, beauty, natural resources, and, of course, loose women. The stated goal of his YouTube channel has been to showcase how someone like Wallace, who has had difficulty betting American women, can thrive by leaving the United States and taking advantage of women in third world countries. His cult-like demand for donations before he'd even turn on his camera or speak on a live stream often hampered his viewership, but for a time resulted in donations coming from his viewers that helped him achieve his fundraising goals for each day. Wallace's recent failures to secure and showcase a never-ending supply of local women to his audience from both Colombia and the Dominican Republic may have exposed a major flaw in Wallace's pickup experience. His running up to random women and screaming, "Hey, you got Instagram? You got WhatsApp?" then running away from their response, failed to inspire his audience to send him more donations. His latest claims that he was catfished when he was unable to hold a conversation with a woman at a mall in the Dominican Republic may have been the final nail in the coffin for Wallace's status as an international stud. Even casual observers could see that the language barrier and Wallace's unease around women, focusing the camera on himself and addressing himself rather than the woman he had intended to bed, was a clear problem. He made no real attempts to learn Spanish, the primary language of the women he encountered over the last year, except for weak attempts to get his audience to pay for Spanish lessons that he seemed to indicate would help him seduce a female Spanish teacher. Wallace's return to America coincided with a missed court date in Oklahoma on Wednesday. Wallace was scheduled for a hearing on the misdemeanor docket in Norman, Oklahoma, for charges related to his August 18, 2023 arrest for obstructing a police officer. The YouTuber had previously commented that he could appear via Zoom call for this hearing, though no updates to the outcome of the hearing have been provided by the court's website as of press time. Trouble in Turtletown continues. Aiden Turtleboy Kearney faced more trouble on Wednesday as the extent of his apparent continued betrayal of Karen Reed emerged. Statements attributed to Kearney have been circulating that he would be approaching Massachusetts State Trooper Brian Tully with information on Karen Reed should he continue to have problems with Nick and Jenna Rocco. Kearney's recent statements have him admitting that he had been fed information by Karen Reed when he served as the leader of the Free Karen Reed movement in 2023. The statements were made in order to help Reed manipulate the public into taking her side as she was accused of murdering boyfriend John O'Keefe. The Roccos replaced Kearney as leaders of the movement he had established after Reed and Reed's family apparently cut ties with Kearney after Kearney was indicted on multiple witness intimidation charges related to Reed's case last year. Making his power known, Kearney was recently granted a press pass by the Commonwealth of Massachusetts and has been able to attend Reed's trial as a member of the press, despite his public statements that he had intended to disrupt the jury and his threatening comments towards witnesses. In the 2 weeks since he received press credentials, Kearney has allegedly staged an incident with an associate that resulted in the elimination of reporter Grant Smith Ellis's ability to report at the courthouse due to a protection order received by that associate. Smith Ellis has been a frequent critic of the YouTuber. Kearney has also used his time reporting inside the courtroom to tweet insults directed at witnesses while they were on the stand, and most recently, he issued a bounty for footage of witness Colin Albert fighting after Albert testified in the case. The self-proclaimed award-winning journalist and journalism Jesus is scheduled for a hearing later today for charges of violating a protection order taken out against him by former girlfriend Lindsay Gaetini. This is a developing story. Flashback to May 30th, 2023, DeCastro's Memorial Day tribute to himself? On a day that most Americans were quietly gathering in remembrance of those who gave their lives in defense of the country, Jose Chile DeCastro released several videos highlighting his perceived mistreatment by police and the judicial system. The first of DeCastro's videos featured DeCastro and then sidekick Floyd Wallace walking around displays at the Las Vegas Police Department before his scheduled meeting with Internal Affairs. DeCastro objected to the display of a thin blue line symbol on a Nevada license plate on display at the entrance of the building. The woman working behind the front counter listened to his complaints, but told him they would not remove the license plate from display. DeCastro's second video featured an apparent recent traffic stop in Las Vegas, where DeCastro bragged about going through a traffic light that was turning from yellow to red. He was pulled over by police and exited his vehicle to confront them. When the police asked him to stay in one place and continued to herd him to that spot, DeCastro claimed they were attempting to torture him by placing hands on him. It is unclear from the video if DeCastro received a citation for running a red light, as the video ends with DeCastro being told that he was free to leave by the gathered police officers. The final video, released as Memorial Day was ending on the West Coast, concerned DeCastro's pending response to Google's motion to have their portion of his Massachusetts-based copyright case against Kate Peter, Josh Abrams, 50 John Doe YouTube creators, 20 John Doe YouTube workers, and YouTube itself either be dismissed or moved to the federal court in Santa Clara, California. Castro stated that YouTube should not be allowed to move the case to Santa Clara, as he was not allowed to have his case dismissed in order to refile it in California by Judge Allison D. Burroughs last fall. Burroughs had ruled in the fall of 2022 that DeCastro could not have his case dismissed at that time because Kate Peter and Josh Abrams had replied to his initial lawsuit with counterclaims before DeCastro made his motion to dismiss. DeCastro was intending to have the case dismissed so he could refile it in California. In response to this ruling, DeCastro amended his case to change the focus to copyright issues and then essentially refiled his original charges against Peter in California's state-level court, dropping Abrams from the charges. DeCastro, addressing the current motion, indicated that YouTube was only a secondary party in the current version of the case and was only brought into the lawsuit as he claims they violated the Digital Millennium Copyright Act when they refused to take down any and all YouTube videos he says misused his copywritten material. The YouTuber stated that YouTube was insignificant to the lawsuit and ignored YouTube's own request to have the case dismissed completely, as DeCastro has made no actual claims against YouTube or provided examples of how YouTube allegedly caused him harm. As usual for recent videos by DeCastro, the video ended with a confusing statement. In his extended list of grievances, DeCastro stated that YouTube should be forced to write original motions against him and be denied the use of boilerplate filings. DeCastro, who is alleged to have copied motions in this lawsuit from other lawsuits he's found from Google searches, and allegedly relies on AI program ChatGPT to help him write his original motions, made the demand at the close of the video, and it is unclear if the judge in the case has the power to grant his demands. The new filing is expected to be released later today. And yes, he was muted. God. I'm never going to hear the end of that. So we're back. Schedules are up. And we have our regularly scheduled Thursday night panel tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. where it counts, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific. Open topics tonight. We'll hit on Turtle Boy and Chili again. And yes, Phil, you can bring this up even though you're not watching. Tomorrow we have the show at 6 p.m. Eastern, then the same on Saturday. And Saturday night, we have the Saturday night panel show again at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. where it counts, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific time. Sunday, we have this show again at normal time, but then we have our week in review show at 8 p.m. going all over all the news in a remastered form. So you'll get it again for the first time. Our Karen Reed trial coverage resumes at Monday at 8:55 a.m. Eastern. It's off on Tuesday due to court scheduling. And then we have a very special Wednesday. That's right, folks. It's Gia Appreciation Day during our Karen Reed coverage. We will cover both Karen Reed and Gia's supposed 83rd time around the sun. So be there, and be ready to party with Gia. I thank you all for being in tonight, and I'm exhausted for tomorrow. Please be there at 8 o'clock tonight for our panel show, where Phil is not going to let me hear the end of any of this, and Gia will probably be joining the lovely Rose and hitting me over the head with a frying pan. So with that, good night all for another 90 minutes or so, and please like, share, and subscribe and all that, as I will remember to unmute next time around. Maybe. I don't care. I'm so tired. Celia, you tell them just what you think, and then you hit them. Oh, wait, what are you people still doing here? The show's over. Hey, I was talking to the cat. That's no fair. You're not supposed to hear any of this. Where's my mute button? Oh, well, I'll see you in a couple minutes for our panel show tonight. Good night for now. Meanies.